Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Midlands post-registrations orientation. Going to just switch on my camera. Okay, I think it is on. I believe you can all see me, and welcome to our post-registration orientation. And this is the slot for Midlands region. Yes, Godfrey?
We can't see your face yet.
You can't see my face?
Yes.
Okay. My camera says it's on. I've just pressed it, says it's off. It's on. What do you see on your side? Oh, I see now. Okay, yes, now I can see. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Enjibo Pape, and I'm going to take you through a short presentation that speaks about Midlands. And once more, I want to welcome you to our post-registrations orientations, and I'm going to project the slides that I have. And as we start, I just want to let you know that we're going to run a presentation that will go for about 40 minutes or so. And then as I present, I'm going to request you to write any questions that you may have in the chat box. I'm with my colleagues here who will answer the questions that you will be jotting down in the chat box. But if you are comfortable with raising your questions verbally, we will set aside about 20 minutes for you to ask those questions. So we are going to start now, just to take you through who is Midlands region, what do we do in Midlands region, etc. And as you think about studying for UNISA, I want to just remind you that we are a comprehensive open distance e-learning institution. This means that there is a physical distance between yourself as a student and the university. Therefore, as a student, you will do your studies on your own, you will study at your own time, and you will study anywhere you are. It is also important for you to remember that there is very limited face-to-face contact between yourself and the university. and that UNISA uses different ways of teaching and learning. We are not like universities such as the University of Limpopo, or the University of the Northwest, or the University of the Free State. We are not a contact institution, but we are an open distance learning institution. In fact, we are a comprehensive open distance e-learning institution. So your contact with the university will be a combination of face-to-face, but predominant as well as online, and predominantly it will be online because we are an e-learning institution. And as I said, we are not like other contact universities. So we do not have what you would call, or what we call, student lifestyle. Like you do not have things like sports day, face-to-face classes, those kind of things. You will not have them at UNISA. And what are the implications for you? A lot of times what we have observed and what research tells us is that students who come in straight from, for instance, high school, or who have not studied anywhere else before, may not be familiar with our mode of teaching and learning, which is mainly online and face-to-face, as well as distance. And we have also observed over the years that some of the students tend to experience anxiety, and some of them feel isolated because you do the studies predominantly alone at home or wherever you are comfortable. And some students also experience adjustment challenges because of the changes. If you're coming, for instance, if you're coming directly from high school, you're used to having a teacher stand in front of you, and you're coming directly into UNISA, you may struggle. Some students tend to struggle with adjusting to this mode of teaching and mode of learning. And we found that in certain instances, there are ineffective coping strategies that our students have because they do not know how to adjust to this new environment that does things differently. And because you study on your own, you're not forced to go to a lecture room. It looks like you have a lot of time on your own. But what we have seen is that when assignment submission time comes, when examinations come, students are under pressure because some of them have put things until the last day. And so we see that some students tend to have ineffective time management. And at this point, I just want to indicate this, which is important, that your academic success is your own responsibility. So as a student, you need to own your academic journey. You need to own the fact that you want to pass, the fact that you are a student. And the other important thing is that as the university, we are responsible to offer you support in order to improve your chances of success. So as much as you have a responsibility to pass or to succeed academically, we also have a responsibility to give you the necessary support that you need for you to succeed. So one then will ask, what is your role in your academic journey? And as I said, your academic success is your responsibility. Therefore, we encourage you to actively participate in your learning journey. You are the student here, and therefore, this is a space for you to study. You came here, your main reason why you are registered with the university is so that you can study. So you need to actively participate in your learning journey. And learning happens with your academic material. For instance, when it comes to assignments, attending workshops, or maybe attending some interventions organized by the lecturers, but you also have to attend you can also learn in instances where we offer you support that we call core curricula. And so this is the support that does not form part of your studies, but the skills that you gain from these interventions, which we call core curricula, are important for you to cope well in the university, but also important for you to go out there and be able to be an active citizen in the country. So what I am saying is therefore that learning happens both with your academic content as well as in your core curricular content. And you need to find a way of creating time to attend both, because both are important. We do not want you to pass and have a good academic record, but struggle to go out there and make a living out of the knowledge that you've acquired in your academic studies. And one of the things, these are the 4 things that we want to encourage you to do, to enhance certain traits that will make sure that will help you to succeed. Traits such as resilience. You know, there will be difficult times in your studies, and you may sometimes feel like you are down and out, but if you are a resilient person, you'll be able to get up again after things have been tough and be able to continue and study. We encourage you to build on your inner motivation. So you need to be able as a student to motivate yourself before you can expect other people to motivate you. So you need to build your discipline. Like I said, no one is going to be forcing you to go to lectures. There are no ongoing face-to-face lectures, and therefore you need to be disciplined. You also need to be to cultivate your independence, be able to stand on your own, and to be flexible. Some of the things that you are going to do here, you may have not done them before, so it becomes important that you are flexible and are willing to embrace a growth mindset, because you are in a space where you learn, and this is a space where growing happens. And we also encourage you to develop, amongst other skills, the following skills: your technology and digital skills. We are an e-learning institution. We are living in the 4th industrial revolution. Therefore, you need to work on your ability to use different technological platforms. You need to learn to utilize and just learn to function in the digital platforms. Other skills, obviously, are communication skills, interpersonal skills. Here, we need to also be considering the fact that you are going to meet with people from different cultures, different religions, and all these diversities that we have. So we need to harness and build our skills in dealing with these different people. And then the other skill that we definitely would want to encourage you to acquire is analytical thinking, leadership, as well as problem solving. As you study, you're going to meet a few challenges, and if you live your life as one who's a problem solver, you will find that you will not be frustrated. And then we also encourage you to secure the following external resources. The first one is social support. You live in a family, most of you, I believe, and so you need to have people that will offer you support as you go. Okay, I've just been informed that I'm not sharing my presentation, and I want to apologize for that. And just make sure that I share. I'm sorry about this, colleagues. So I was talking about your role. Sorry. Godfrey, can we see the presentation? I can see on my side now that.
Yes, it's visible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Sissy. Okay, so I was talking about your role in the academic journey of saying you must enhance these particular traits, you must develop these skills, you must secure these external resources, social support. If you, for instance, are studying and you're staying with your family, it's important that you talk to them about the support that you need. For instance, during examinations, you will need them to give you a different form of support than when you are not writing examinations. We also need to work on getting access to the computer. I understand that when you applied or when you registered, you indicated that you have access to the computer. The university will also give you data, which is for academic purposes, so we need to also take care of that. And then we also encourage you to have some internet connectivity. And if you can't have that, you can come to our centers, you'll get that, and also financial resources. And then we also encourage you to learn healthy coping strategies. Like we said, adjustment challenges may force you. Sometimes we found that some people, when they experience difficulties, they tend to go towards doing things that are not very healthy as a way of coping. So we are saying that let's learn healthy coping strategies. And if you cannot, you do not know how to do that, support is available in the university to help you to develop this kind of strategies. And then what is the role of the university in your academic journey? Remember, I said earlier on, your academic journey is your responsibility. And on the other hand, the university has a responsibility to offer you support. So if you look at the University of South Africa, one of our core mandate is to make higher education accessible. And that is why if you look at our current numbers and the numbers in the past many years, you'll see that we have the highest number of students that are registered with us. So we're making higher education accessible. But one of the principles that we uphold as a university is that we need to balance access with success. So we are interested in making sure that as much as we give students, I'm sorry, my laptop keeps doing this. As much as we give students access to education, we also give them support so that they succeed. We do not want to have a high number of students that are not graduating and not going out to the world of work or going out to the world of making money as business people. And so to ensure your academic success, the university has established regions and other structures to make sure that they support you so that you can succeed. And regions were established to bridge the gap between the university and the students and to provide students accessible and equitable student support services. So you'll see that right now I'm presenting to you sitting in Rustenburg. I believe you are connecting from different parts of the region, which is Midlands region. You are far removed from UNISA Pretoria, the picture that we see there. So we are here as regions to offer you support, and your support, the support that you receive in the regions needs to be accessible, and it also needs to be equitable, similar to the support that the students in Sunnyside and Johannesburg receive, and Durban and Cape Town receive. So let's quickly look at the UNISA regions. Remember, we said this is the orientation for students who are residing in the Midlands region. But overall, the university has 6 regions. And remember, I said regions are created to bridge the gap between the university and the students. So we got 6 regions, and they cover the whole country. And every student in South Africa can access UNISA through the different regional service centers in these 6 regions. Now, our region is Midlands region, and it covers the Northwest Province, the Northern Cape Province, and the Free State Province. And within these 3 provinces, we have 6 regional service centers, and we have 3 regional service centers. Sometimes we call them regional offices. These are situated in the Northwest. We have one in Rustenburg, which is the hub or the main office of the Midlands region. And then it is followed by one in Mahikeng, and the other one is in Potchefstroom. And then in the Free State, we have 2 regional service centers, one in Bloemfontein and one in Kroonstad. And then in the Northern Cape, we have one, and it is based in Kimberley. And I believe that most of you have received support from colleagues in these centers. Now, these are the contact details of these 3 provinces, and we encourage students to communicate with us using their MyLife accounts, and they send their emails to these office email addresses, which are manned or taken care of by the supervisors and the regional office coordinators, who make sure that all your inquiries are responded to on time. This information will be shared on the chat box. You don't need to worry about writing it down. And then the role of the regions in your academic journey. This is very important. So the role of Midlands region in your studies is that Midlands region is your student support center. So when you need support and you are sitting in Tabanchu, you are struggling maybe to download material, your study material, or you are struggling to get access to your NSFAS responses, you can walk into your nearest office, which would be Bloemfontein, to receive the support that you need. So you do not have to worry if you are struggling to help yourself where you are, or you are struggling to get the information that you need. You can just walk into one of the centers that you are closest to, that you are close to. So our purpose is to support you, and we support you from before you apply until when you register. And in fact, we encourage you to come back and further your studies with us after you have acquired your first qualification. So our purpose is also to provide you a positive learning experience. When we support you, obviously, when you are feeling frustrated or when you're struggling with something, obviously you are in a negative space when things are not going well. But once you come to us, we are here to help you so that your learning experience is a pleasant and a positive one. And by the way, if you're not able to walk into any of the centers, remember earlier on we spoke about their contacts. You can email them or you can call them. They will be able to respond to you. So the 3 types of support services that we offer are administrative or systemic. So these are the example of this. For instance, when you wanted to apply, you probably got in contact with one of us and you got support with applications. You probably spoke to one of us to help you with career counseling. You probably spoke to one of us during your registration when you registered online and it didn't go through. So we gave you the support so that you can ultimately become a registered student. We help you with in things like claiming my UNISA and my life account. We help you with NSFAS applications, etc. But we also help you with what we call cognitive support, which is, for example, then you will see this happening now that you are registered. When we start with your teaching and your learning, you're going to see a lot of support that comes in that is academic in nature and not only administrative. So you will see that you will receive tutorial support. For instance, you will receive workshops on time management. You'll receive reading and writing support. Those are some of the support that we call cognitive support. And then the last form of support that we offer you is affective support, where we offer you, or emotional support, which is a psychological support that we offer to our students when they are struggling with something in their personal lives, because we know that when we have challenges in our personal lives, they tend to affect other areas of our functioning, including our studies. So what I want to highlight at this point, students, is that the support that UNISA offers you is not just limited to when you are applying or when you're looking for an academic record or when you're looking for a timetable. We also support you with academic and technological support. And then these are the services that you find in the regions. And for instance, when you start your journey, we were with you. We helped you with your applications. We helped, some of you may have attended the pre-registrations orientations. We help students with career counseling and career guidance to help you choose the courses that speak to the career that you want to follow. We helped you as well with your registrations and NSFAS. These are the things that I have already mentioned. But you will see that during your academic journey, during your teaching and learning, then that is where support such as tutorials, academic literacies, library services, counseling services, assignment issues and examination and proctoring tools and finance. You'll see now that you are a registered student, you will need 1 or 2 of these services, and the region is available to offer you that service. Let me just also indicate that in our centers, we have uninterrupted power supply. So let's say you are in a place where load shedding is a continuous problem and you want to access the internet. You are welcome to come to any of our RSC that is closest to you to access internet. We do not have challenges with power supply. We also have computer laboratories. Let's say you had challenges with your data and you want internet connectivity, or you just want to come and download materials, you can come to our computer laboratories. All centers have computer laboratories, and all centers have support for students with disabilities, regardless of the nature of the disability. The centers also have classrooms that can be utilized as study space. And we have a student representative council that was, I think it's newly, they were elected last year. So if you have any issues that you want to raise with them, you are welcome to contact them. And we also have free Wi-Fi. Let's say you have your laptop and you don't want to use our computer laboratories, you can come in and just connect to our Wi-Fi utilizing your student credentials. And then we have different support units within the region, which I want to just introduce you to them briefly, as well as to their leaders. And so at this point, I'm going to request that when I introduce a particular unit, that the leader switches on the camera so that you can see the person who is leading the particular unit. And the first unit that we're going to talk about is the Student Administration and Funding Unit. This unit is led by Mrs. Kamogelo Base. She is the Acting Manager, Student Administration and Services. And Mrs. Base, can you just briefly put on your camera? Are you on? Because I can't see. Okay, by the way, you may not be able to talk. Okay, I believe that Mabase, you have seen her. So Mabase works together with colleagues that are called regional office coordinators. These colleagues are sitting in the different offices in the Midlands region, and they make sure that the offices that you walk into offer you all the support that you need. And within those offices, there are colleagues that we call student admin advisors. These are the colleagues that you would normally speak to when you are looking for support that relates to student administration. So some of the work that these colleagues in the student administration and funding do is that they, when you walk into a center, or even when you email them, you can email them to find out, to inquire about any issue that you have that relates to student administration and funding, or any other thing that you want to inquire about. If they are not able to help you, they will they will make sure that your inquiry is resolved by the most relevant person, either in the region or in the university. And like I say, these colleagues help with applications, registrations, student assessment, we're talking about assignments and examinations. And they also help you with funding support, applications for NSFAS, applications, or if you want to submit documents from the people who have given you bursaries, and if you have issues with refunds, these are the people that you walk to and they will help you, or you email and they will help you. And then they also will help you with study space and accessing study space, as well as the Student Representative Council. And while we are here, just want you to note those contacts of the leader, one of the Student Representative Council members that you can contact if you have some issues that you want to raise with the student leaders. And then the next unit that I want to introduce is Counseling and Career Development Unit. This is led by Ms. Ndeng Moatludi, who is the Senior Student Counselor. And Godfrey, can I just hear, are these colleagues able to switch on their camera so the students can see them?
Yes, I've just made them presenters. They can switch on the cameras.
Okay. So has Ndeng done that? Godfrey, I'm relying on you.
You can see me.
Okay, I'm going to move in the interest of time. I believe that they have seen you, Ndeng. Thank you. So Ndeng works together with other student counselors. We have two student counselors. One is situated in Bloemfontein, and she takes care of Bloemfontein, Kimberley, and Kroonstad students. And we have another one situated in Rustenburg, taking care of Rustenburg, Mahikeng, and Potchefstroom students. These three colleagues are registered psychologists. One is a registered counselor, and the two others are psychologists. So they are well trained to offer you counseling services, and they are also supported by two administrative officers. So what does counseling unit do? The services that are available for you from counseling unit are career counseling. This is important in that it enables you as students to choose a qualification that matches your planned career interests, abilities, and personality. I believe that we are all aware that not all of us will do well in a particular qualification. So these colleagues help us with these kind of choices. They also help us with personal counseling to deal with the challenges that affect our study progress. Let's say, for instance, you lose someone you love, so you'd have grief, you'd need grief counseling. If you have relationship challenges and you have anxiety, maybe you are struggling to adjust, maybe you have stress, these are the colleagues that will help you. And then they also help you with academic support, which enables you to deal with academic challenges such as adjustment to the university, study skills, time management, and preparing for examinations. And then the other form of support they give you is career development. Remember, you are studying so that ultimately you can go either to the world of work or to the world where you are going to be an entrepreneur. So they'll help you in your exit level when you're doing your third year and you're completing your first qualification. They'll help you with things like employability skills, how do you write a CV, how do you prepare for a job interview, etc., etc. But they also help you with entrepreneurial skills. And then counseling wants they are inviting you to join them in their upcoming workshop. The first one is adjustment to CODEL, which I'm going to talk about later. And then the second one is study skills and time management, which is happening on the 5th of March from 1 to 3. And then the other one is my first quarter at UNISA. It's a check-in for first-year students to just check that you are coping well and that you do not need support, that if you need support, to establish how we can help you. And then you can book an appointment by following the information here. And this information will be shared in the chat box. You do not have to worry. Then I'm going to quickly move to the next service point, which is library services. This is led by Mrs. Letitia Lekay, who is the manager in the library. Mrs. Lekay, are you on camera?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Thank you. Colleagues, I believe you have seen Mrs. Lekay. Mrs. Lekay works with professional librarians in the library and junior librarians. So when you walk into the library in Rustenburg, by the way, we only have a library in Rustenburg, and this is really around the policies of the university. So you'll see that's Mrs. Lekay and some of her team members in front of their library. But what is important for us to know is that all of you who are registered, you can borrow library materials or books in person. So when you, for instance, if you want a book and you are in next to Rustenburg, you can walk into the library and borrow a book and produce your student card which has got a photo of yourself, so that we can know that you're a registered student and that you are the right person. Or you can also request a book online. So let's say you are sitting in Kimberley and you are not able to walk into a library in Rustenburg, then you can request a book online. And don't worry how you do that. A training will be offered to help you do that. And the library offers the following services: lending services, that is where you borrow a book or you loan a book, request services. You could request them to search some information for you. Let's say you are doing a research and you want to know, I don't know if at your level you already do research, maybe you are preparing for an assignment and you want information on a particular topic, that you can send them a request and they can help you to search for that. And then they also help you with training, and we'll talk about that later, and research support, particularly for postgraduate students. So if you have any search requests, let's say you want them to search some library material, maybe a book or an article for you, you can send an email to that email address or call them on those numbers. And again, this information will be shared with you. And then just some information about prescribed books and renewals. You know, most study modules have what we call prescribed books. And all students that are registered for a particular module will be required to own a prescribed book, because that prescribed book is necessary for you to understand the subject content and to ultimately pass, hopefully. And so students are expected to buy prescribed books. I always liken prescribed books with prescribed medication. When you are not well, you'll go to a doctor and they'll give you a prescription. And if you want to be well, you go and buy that medication and take it as prescribed by the doctor, and then you succeed. So the same is the case with prescribed books. If you want to succeed, you purchase prescribed books. But we also understand that there are instances where we are not in a position to purchase, and the library has limited copies of prescribed books which you can loan. You can request them online or in person. This is limited. So we have thousands of students that are registered, so we may not be able to offer all students prescribed materials. And when you loan a book, for instance, you are allowed to renew it 3 times. Provided that there is no hold, provided that there is no one who is waiting for that book. So if, for instance, you borrowed a book and there's no one who wants it, you can come and you still need it, you can renew it and renew it for the 2nd time and renew it for the 3rd time. But after the 3rd time, you'll have to return it. And if they say it's on hold, you must know you will not be able to renew it, because we are sharing so that all of us have access to support. And then all due items and items that are on hold must be returned by the due date. So when you borrow a book, they'll tell you must bring it back on this day, and they'll stamp the date so you don't forget it. And if you do not return it, you will be fined and you will pay 5 rand per day. This is just to cultivate a sense of responsibility, but also as a spirit of sharing, so that we can share the material or the books. And renewal will not be granted if there is an outstanding fine on your student loan account. So let's say you want to renew a book and we find that you once had books that you had and you did not bring them back. You will not be able to, they will not allow you to renew. So borrowing privileges for different levels of study, you get the different number of books. So you'll see that if you are doing non-degree purposes or short learning programs and certificates, for instance, you are doing a higher certificate or maybe an example, a course in administration of estates, you only can borrow 4 books from the university. And then if you are doing an undergraduate qualification such as a national diploma or a bachelor's degree like a Bachelor of Commerce or a Bachelor of Accounting Sciences, you can borrow 8 books. And then if you are a postgraduate student, which means you are doing honors degree or you are doing a postgraduate diploma or a master's degree, you can borrow 16 books. So we see as we go up and up in our studies, we get more books because even the complexity of our work becomes more. And then Midlands region has got, remember I said we only have 1 branch library in Rustenburg, and we got we got partnerships with public libraries so that you can have access to library support or books that are coming from UNISA. So we have signed partnerships with different municipalities and provinces so that you can have easy access to books from UNISA. So we currently have a partnership with Mahikeng Municipal Libraries. They have a multiple number of libraries that fall under here. This information will be shared in the chat box, don't worry. Then we also have a nice big partnership with the Free State Province, which covers the whole Free State, and that information will be shared. And then we also have another one with Solplaki Municipal Libraries. I know that one of the libraries there is the Kimberley Public Library. And then just some announcements there. The colleagues are going to have a library-specific orientation and training on the 20th and 21st of February. And then this will be in Rustenburg. So it will be face-to-face. And then on the 20th, they will do the same in Kimberley. And the 21st, they will do the same in Bloemfontein and then Kroonstad as well as Potchefstroom. So you'll see that in this month of February, there will be a lot of training to get you acquainted with the systems of this university so that you can make it. And then the next unit that I'm going to introduce you to is the facilitation of learning unit. This is led by Mr. Korombi. Mr. Korombi, are you on camera? Mr. Korombi?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Korombi, and yeah, thank you. I believe the students have seen you. And Mr. Korombi works with a team of tutorial officers, as well as a regional academic coordinator and administrative assistants. And these colleagues, they work together to make sure that you receive the following type of support. The first support that you receive from facilitation of learning is tutorial support. Here, this is the support that is offered by qualified people whom we call tutors. These people complement the support that you receive from the lecturer by offering you academic support. So they go through the academic content. Let's say you are registered for accounting sciences or accounting, so you'll get a lecturer that offers you additional information on accounting. And there are two types of tutorial support offered in the university. The first one is e-tutoring. This is offered online, and it is offered by the colleges. That means the academics, the lecturers, and it is offered for all modules. So for every module that you are registered for, there's an e-tutor for that. So if you need additional support is available. It's online through e-tutors. And then the second form of tutorial is the tutorials that are driven by the region, and they are offered mainly via MS Teams, which is what we're using right now, and they are offered only for high-risk modules. These are the modules that the university have observed over time, and they realize that many students struggle with them. And so they have set them apart for students to receive additional support on them. And these sessions are recorded, and after we record them, we put them on the project site, which is on My UNISA. And additional information will be shared with you later in this month or next month on how to use My UNISA and how to go on to my project on the project site. And at this point, I just want to indicate these region-driven tutorials are only offered on MS Teams and not face-to-face. The second form of support that you receive from facilitation of learning is academic literacies. Here we offer, these again are offered by qualified and experienced facilitators. These people are subject specialists. So if we are looking for someone to assist students with the law of succession, we will go and look for an expert. We will not take a teacher to come and train people on the law of, or teach people on the law of succession. So this intervention is offered through groups, but you are also allowed to book for individual consultations. So for instance, I said this is subject specific. For instance, if you are registered for economics, you may get a class that is made up of people who are doing economics at first level and second level. So the facilitator will facilitate it in such a way that all of you understand the principles and understand the content that is in economics. And this support is offered via MS Teams, and regional service centers develop schedules and they share them with the students, and that is going to be done today as well in the chat box. And at this point, we want to encourage you students, this is the academic support that the university offers you through the regions. Please attend this. They will supplement what you already receive from the lecturers. And then there are also generic workshops that facilitation of learning have developed. We have observed in the past, and we have done a bit of data analysis, and we have observed that our first time entering students or our first year students tend to struggle with their studies. And therefore we have come up with generic type of workshops that will help you settle into the university. So the first workshop that the colleagues are going to be offering is on the 29th of February. It's a Thursday. It is called Introduction to the Research on the First Year Students. There's a research project that the university is running. So this is for the whole regions in the university. So on this first day, we're going to be sharing information on that research project because we would like you to participate in it and help us gather some information. And then on the 2nd of March, it's tips on how to be a successful UNISA student, because you know what, it's not very easy to be a UNISA student. You may need to attend this so you can get some tips on how to survive. And then on the 14th, we'll have tips on how to approach your assessments. Here we are talking about your assignments and your examinations. So we encourage you to attend this. They are not subject specific like the previous ones I spoke about, but they are necessary for you to acquire certain skills that are necessary for you to succeed. And then these are the contact details of the colleagues from facilitation of learning. And in the interest of time, I'm going to move quickly to the last unit, which is technology and ICT support. This unit is led by Mrs. Lebelwane, and she's the technology enhanced learning coordinator. Is your camera on, Bongi?
Yes, it's on, ma'am.
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
So, thank you. Colleagues, that is the leader in the technology and ICT support. In fact, this whole session here, we are supported by her team members. Bongi works together with her team members that are situated in all offices. We call them digital learning advisors. So when you walk to each and every office or regional service center, you will go to a computer lab and you will be helped by one of her team members, as well as some administrative assistants. And so the digital learning support equips you with the technological skills required for you to have a successful academic journey. Remember, we are an e-learning institution. If you do not have the technological skills, you may not be able to succeed. They also enhance your student learning experience through technology-driven systems and access to computers in our computer laboratories. And they integrate technology systems with teaching and learning. So you can see that this is a group of people that help you to be a 4IR compliant student who will also succeed and go out there and be able to function in the 4IR workplace. And so the services that are available in each and every RSC, we got computer laboratories. We also have video conference facilities, and the centers are open from 8 to 4 o'clock. And once your registration has been finalized, we encourage you to visit your computer laboratories to get full student assistance and to access your UNISA learning services. So some of the services that they offer you is online digital learning support. They help you with accessing the computers in their laboratories, with activation and access of My UNISA and My Life email account. By the way, students, if you are communicating with the university, the official email address that the university recognizes is your My Life email address. So after you have accessed your My UNISA, you must also activate your My Life email account so that you can have an official platform that you communicate with all of us, like people in the regions, the academics in Pretoria. We all recognize My Life email account. And they also assist you with installation of official UNISA software. There are certain softwares for certain modules, and if you're struggling to load them onto your gadget, maybe your laptop, they can come and they can help you. They also assist you with Microsoft Office 365 package, which is what we use as UNISA, and they assist you with online examinations. There are things called proctoring tools, so you need to know that so that come examination time, you are ready. And then they support you with online modules. Each and every qualification has an online module, so they'll give you support with that if you're struggling. And of course, Wi-Fi access, setting up your computers, computer literacy training for those of us that do not have, our literacy is limited, and video conference facilities. They also help you when you go to the computer lab. If you want, for instance, you are in Mahikeng, you want to request a book in library, they will help you to know where on My UNISA to go to access online library services. And they also assist you with student card facilities. And then the contacts for the digital learning advisors that are placed in all regional service centers are as follows. We have one in Rustenburg, Mr. Mashishi. We have one in Mahikeng, Mr. Mabaso. We have one in Posh, Mrs. Mashishi. We have one in Bloemfontein with Tumelo Matebesi. We have one in Kimberley, Mr. Tau. And we have one in Kronstadt, Ms. Ramongalo. And at this point, students, I want to take this time to invite you to a workshop for the region, which will be driven by the region, which we call Adjustment to CODEL workshop. This is a workshop that will help you to adjust to studying with UNISA. In this workshop, they'll give you similar information that I've given you, but in more detail. And so you will understand better. It will take a longer time. You see, it's from 1 to 4. And this is the workshop that I want to encourage you to attend. And as I move to my close once more, students, welcome to the University of South Africa. Our vision says we are the African university shaping futures in the service of humanity. So we are really humbled to have you come so that we can shape your futures in the service of humanity. And we welcome you again to Midlands region. This is your student support center. Whatever form of support that you need, you are welcome to contact us or to come in face to face, and we will give you support. And at this end, as I end, I want to also hand over to Mrs. Marindin Law, who will take over and facilitate the question and answers if you have any questions that you want to ask us. Thank you so much for your attention, and I wish you all the best in your studies. Okay, is Marindin here? I see there are two hands while Marindin sorts herself out. Let's take the questions. The first one is from Godfrey. Please help with giving the students a sound. Ne? The first one is from Fikile Simon, followed by Chumani Boy. Let's start with you, Fikile.
Fikile, please unmute your mic. I've given you the access.
Fikile, please unmute. Okay, let's go to Chumani. Fikile, just give Chumani a chance, and then we'll come back to you while you look for the button that helps you to unmute. Chumani? Seems like it's a challenge to Godfrey. How come the students can?
They can unmute, but I've
unmute.
given them the rights. I've given all three the rights to unmute their mic. They have to unmute on their side or on their cell phone.
Yes, colleagues, students, if you are using your cell phone, just go on to, okay, I'm going to share my screen so you can see how we unmute. So, oh no, this is not what I want to share. I wanted to share my screen so that I can show you how to unmute. So if you look at my screen here, my mic, where that hand is, that is the mic. And on. When it's like this, without a line on top, it's unmuted. I can talk and you can hear me. But when I put the line on, awesome. Chumani, I see you got it right. Come, let's hear what your question is.
My question is, if you miss the class online, so you can get back the video of the class.
You said if you missed your class online, you can get the recording.
Yes.
Is that what? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Korombi?
Yes, the recordings will be available either on the same space, MS Teams, the date at which the session took place, the recordings will be there. Or if it is our academic literacy, we'll put the recording on the project site.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mutsidisi? Miss Maine, please unmute like I'm doing on my screen. Miss Maine, please unmute. Okay, you seem to be struggling. Godfrey, is there nothing we can do on our side to unmute them?
No, Sis Angie, I can only mute them from my side. To unmute, unfortunately, I can't do that.
Okay, perhaps Mutsidisi can write in your chat box just write what you wanted to ask. Mutsilisi? Am I reading her name correctly? Maybe I'm the one who's. If you can, just type in the chat box and let's get to answer your question. Mutsilisi. Okay, colleagues, is there anything in the absence of more questions, or maybe while the students are thinking, do we have anything that we want to add at this point, colleagues? Any additional information from yourself, Melibelwane, Bongi?
Thank you, ma'am. I think there's an echo this side.
Okay, let's give someone a chance while you fix the echo. Mrs. Lekay?
Thank you, Ms. Popape. From my side, you've covered the library services very, very well. I just want to also make use of this opportunity to ask the colleagues or the students to please make use of the address there on the chat box, the library email address. So whenever you need anything from us in terms of library services, please give us, send us an email, or you can call us. But you've covered everything very well. Thank you, Member Papi.
Thank you. Mrs. Low, I see you are back. I see you are here. Please take over.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, students. It's wonderful to be with you. Yes. Ms. Popape, sorry, I was in another meeting with service providers, therefore the late joining. If you say I must take over.
Okay, no, don't worry, ma'am. I thought you were away. No, don't worry. We wanted you to facilitate the question and answer, but we don't seem to be having a lot of questions. Mr. Mbodi, do you have additional things that you want to add?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, colleagues or students. We are going to be offering most of our sessions in a hybrid mode. If you do not have a gadget or data to connect from home, visit your nearest office, participate in these activities on campus. Come to the campus and participate. We've got signature modules. Students are struggling. If you've registered for signature modules, please come to the office. We would like to take you by hand and walk the whole journey with you. Don't struggle on your own in the bush. Come to the office, then let's assist you. Thank you.
Thank you. So signature modules are modules that are offered strictly online. And we have observed that many students struggle with them because maybe they're not used to using the internet and studying online. So Mr. Korombi is saying, if you struggle with those, colleagues from technology and ICT support are here to support you. Any additional information from you, Mabase, from student admin?
Thank you, Ms. Pape. Just to remind the students that I know the registration was up to the 12th. It's now up to the 19th of February. They can still finalize their registrations and join the academic journey. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And then from counseling, Nteng, any additional info? Or Michelle?
It's not additional information, it's what you just said. I just want to stress to students that as a counseling unit, we are here for you. If you feel that you are not coping with your studies, contact us and we will see how we can help you so that you can progress. And also, I know that our workshops are not compulsory, but they will assist you to cope with your studies. So please try by all means to join them and get help from there. Thank you.
Thank you. So what Nteng is saying, colleagues, students, is that, you know, the support that we offer in the region, some of it's not connected directly with your modules. but it is connected directly with your success in life. So it gives you, we give you the support, which we call co-curricular support in some instances. And this support equips you with the skills that you will need to be a successful graduate. We sometimes open opportunities for employment for our students. And sometimes I sit in those interviews with my colleagues here. We sit in interviews, and when you interview a student from UNISA and they do not know how to, they have not prepared for the interview. You can see when someone is prepared, they do not know how to express themselves in the interview. You become heartbroken because a person would have a degree, but they would not know how to talk in an interview. They would come unprepared. So those are some of the skills that we want you to walk out with. So you have academic knowledge that you would have acquired, but you also have to have the life skills that are necessary for you to succeed. And what we have seen is that a lot of times we invite students to these workshops and they do not come because they think, no, there's no module code to this, so this is not important. As I said, this is important. As Ms. Mwatwidi said, these interventions are important. We want you to have the skills that will take you out there and go and compete for a job with a student that comes from any other university. So that's why we are here. So at this point, let me see, I don't see any more questions. Have I forgotten any other unit? Have all units made inputs? Oh, Bongi, you were struggling. We still have a minute.
Yeah, fine now. Yes, I think from my side, what I would like to emphasize to students is to make sure that they activate their My Life student account. This is the only email that the university communicates with them. This is the only in a part where we send the training that we are conducting in the region. So it's very important that you make sure that after you have activated My UNISA, you make sure that you can also access your My Life account. Secondly, the exams are online. Students will have to make sure that they are prepared and they know how to use the proctoring tools. And in the regions, we assist you to do that. We will invite you to attend the sessions where we will be showing how to set up your devices so that you are well prepared for writing your online exam. You don't show up on the day of the exam, it's impossible to assist you because if the session starts at 8, you can't, 8 o'clock, there is nothing that we can do to assist you. So make sure that when we invite you for these trainings, you come so that we can assist you with all the necessary equipment so that you can be able to be prepared. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bongi. Okay, I'm reading a question from Mutilisi here. She says, I haven't received any study material as yet, nor am I able to log in or activate My Life or My UNISA, and I'm a first-time student right now. I'm very lost and in need of urgent assistance. And Mutilisi, I wonder, where are you? And I just want to encourage you to go to your nearest office. If you are in the Free State area, you can go to Bloemfontein or Kroonstad, or send an email. Colleagues, can I just request Bongi or one of your team members, please be in contact with Mutilisi. You can see her email there. Ne? Please, let's be in contact with her. She says she's lost. Don't worry, Mutilisi, we are here to help you. You will not be lost. In the next few days, you would be understanding what's happening. And then someone, Kate Ngili, asks, can I attend at the campus just in case I didn't understand online? Do you mean the orientation? If you mean this orientation, yes, we are going to have adjustment to ODEL. As Mr. Korombi said, you can come to the nearest campus to attend that particular workshop. Let me just remind you, the workshop is happening on the 22nd of February from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. In that workshop, we will be talking about what we spoke about today and more. Ms. Masinya, I see your hand is up.
Good morning, colleagues, students, and thank you, Ms. Mubabe. I would like to add something on what colleagues have just said in terms of creating awareness to students on the official communications platform. We do have the platforms that students can follow us on. The objectives of the communications platform as students is to keep you updated regarding the activities that are happening within the institution, and also to ensure that you are engaged with us as an institution, and also to enhance your learning experience. Our social media platform keep you updated on what is happening. For example, we just shared an information about the warning that students should be aware of in terms of false companies advertising UNISA information. So this information will be put on the chat for students to be aware of those kind of things. And also example of the announcement in terms of the banking details. These have been shared to create awareness on what should be done in terms of banking details, not to find yourself as students being led to incorrect information from other companies. Lastly, we'll request the students to follow us on our social media platforms, which is Twitter and Facebook page. However, the information will be dropped at the chat. Thank you, Mrs. Popape.
Thank you, Mama Senior. Please follow us, colleagues, on our social media platforms so that you can get more information about the services that we offer. And I see there are more questions coming. I don't know if I should read them, or are you attending to them, colleagues? There's one that is fresh here, 4 minutes past 12. I haven't received my study materials. When I checked the status, it said that my material had been returned to the branch, and it should have, where is that now? It just went away. Okay. I've lost that. Is someone responding to that, I believe? And it should have been delivered on the 7th of February. Can I kindly be assisted on who to contact? I'm in Port and Ventersdorp Northwest. You can contact the Potchefstroom office. Can someone from Potchefstroom please respond to Mapula and send Mapula the details of your Posh office? Thank you. I hope I'm not forgetting any question. If there's any question that you still want to raise, please, you still have time. You can raise it verbally, or you can write it. But as we move to a close, we're scheduled to. Okay, Isrom Maluleke, please go ahead. And maybe before you come, Isrom, let me just request all of you students. We have put in the chat an evaluation of service, a link to our evaluation of this workshop. We request you to evaluate this workshop so that in the next workshop, we can improve where we need to improve. So please make time to just, it's got about 4 questions. You just tick, you read the question and you answer by choosing the most relevant answer or the most suitable answer for you, according to you. So Mr. Maluleke, the floor is yours. Please unmute.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Maluleke. You can go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'd like to know. That if how do we see if I'm registered or not? Because.
Okay, where are you based, Isrom? Where are you right now?
I'm around Johannesburg.
Oh, you're around Johannesburg. Okay. I'm going to request one of my colleagues to check your details and be in contact with you to check and to give you an answer, because right now they don't have their student system open. So my base, please get hold of Isrom and help him with his question. Is that okay?
Okay. And then the other question
yes,
is.
ma'am.
Yes, go ahead with Isrom. Yes.
Yeah, another question is how do we get access to our online learning material?
Okay, thank you. Bongi, how do we get access?
If he is successfully registered and he has paid the minimum fee, they can claim my UNISA login, then he will have access to all the learning management system, all the modules.
Sis Angie, you are muted if you're speaking.
Okay, sorry, I'm busy talking by myself. Okay, I saw Marindin sent. Are you adding on to what Mr. Korombia said?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Students, you must remember that once your minimum payment has been made for your registration and your registration has been activated, meaning that you are now a student, you will receive an SMS to confirm that. So if you have not received your SMS to state that your registration is finalized, you must, and you know payment has been made, you must contact your closest office, or I'm sure all of you know all the numerous email addresses that's allocated to the regional services centers. You guys, the regional services centers is there to assist you. Don't contact the central offices. They have so many students around, making use of them. We closer to you. That is why we are there to assist you. So you need to ensure that you get that SMS that says, hey, welcome, your registration has been finalized. Thereafter only, you will be able in 48 hours to claim your MyUNISA login to have access to your study material. So that confirmation SMS of your registration is the most extremely important correspondence from UNISA that you are waiting now for after you've done a temporary registration. Otherwise, you're lying in the system and it will not go over to a registration. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe it's clear now. Isrom, I hear you are in Johannesburg. Perhaps you can just visit one of our centers in Johannesburg, particularly if you have done your first registration, your payment, and you have received an SMS that says you are registered, then they can help you with downloading your study materials. Lamis. Lamis, please unmute. Okay. There was another hand. Who was that, colleagues? Did you see? Lamis, unmute, please, so we can hear you. Otherwise, we cannot hear you. Okay. Bulelwa, I see you want to add something.
Thank you, Mebubabe. I think it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. What I actually wanted to say, Mebubabe, is that I see that there are many questions with regards to registrations and tax invoice. So if students can send us emails, I think the third message from the top on our chat box, it has all our contact details for all the 6 regional service centers. So they can just send us emails and we'll assist them. We don't have many emails. I think we've got 3 or 4 emails on our box. So we'll be able to get back to them as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Lamis, Isrom, do you still have another question? Okay, I see your hand is down now. Lamis, yes, come through. We can hear you now.
Hi, ma'am. I wanted to find out what happens in the case where NSFAS doesn't get back just before the 16th.
Mabase or someone from student admin, what happens in cases NSFAS doesn't pay by the closing date?
Mrs. Law, please respond.
Yes, you know, NSFAS is a thorny issue to all higher education, but UNISA as such receives a name list of students that has been approved weekly from NSFAS. So what we as an institution normally do is our NSFAS students are, by a push of a button, we know who you guys are. And once we received correspondence that your funding for the year has been approved, and they send us in it on our list, then we will, assist till a certain point with activation of first semester registrations. You must remember that it doesn't help us to, by the 10th of March, still to register you for the first semester because your assignments was supposed to be in already. So if UNISA decides that once we get the name list and the due date for registration of first semester is passed, and they make a decision, it's not because we are being, as the children would say, funny. We are just being cautious, and we're taking note of you as a student, that we don't want to put you under pressure. But we always have a time period that even though the registration semester modules is now closing on the 19th, so it's a few days, 2 days more. So on the 19th it's closing. We normally have about a week's time to get money where it's supposed to go to accounts, and we activate still. Okay, so don't go into a panic phase. Remember, NSFAS is in correspondence with the universities. You get correspondence on your NSFAS portal. Okay, now remember that might be different than what we get. Unfortunately, we work on the official communication from NSFAS directly. The students' NSFAS portal information will not assist us. Okay, so just relax a bit. NSFAS it's going much smoother, that I can promise you, than last year. So 2024 has brought some changes to NSFAS. So yes, just relax, and we pray and we believe that your registration will be finalized. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe that you have answered even the students that may not have asked the question. So I think we have covered all that we needed to cover. I was just projecting that slide with the contact details so that the students can see their nearest offices and take the email addresses. As Ms. Tsagi mentioned, their mailboxes are currently empty. So if you send your emails, you'll receive your responses within 48 hours because we are in the registration period. If not, less, could be less than 48 hours. And in the absence of more questions, our session was meant to end at 12. We have extended it by 17 minutes, and it looks like everybody is okay now. I see even the numbers are going low. Okay, Nosbonelo, you can ask your question.
Do you hear me in that side?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, so what will happen if I cancelled my module accidentally and I want to add it again? I'm already registered, a first year student.
Okay.
Oh, you must always be very careful there. We are still in a registration phase, so you're lucky. You need to, contact via email, please. Remember, we do not work telephonically with registrations. Do it telephonically. So you will then request us to re-register it or, add it. because you cannot do it on my UNISA or on the UNISA portal. You must just remember that if you cancelled it, there will be a financial implication. So we will have to take a look at the situation and then we will work with you. I am going to put my email address there because then, you know, there's alternative or there is financial implications as mentioned. Please send me your email requesting me to work on your registration and to add it. Okay, I've just added it. It's Low.
Okay, Ms. Bonello, you can send Mrs. Low your an email with a description of your inquiry, and then she will give you the support you need. Thank you. I think we have covered all questions. You all right, Ms. Bonello?
No, I can't see the email address.
Oh, it's in the chat. In the chat. Thing. Let me just project my screen and show you where to get that. Oh no, I keep coming here. So you can see my screen. It doesn't seem like it's.
No, I don't.
You can't see it now. It's presenting now. Okay, let me just get out of this one and want to show you where you get the chats. That is where people have been asking questions. That is where
we have sent it.
Yeah, can you see it?
I can see it now. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So I'm hoping other people also saw this is where we get the chat box and you see where you type your question during a meeting or during a workshop. See, there's another hand. Let me see, who is this? Magoro. Is it Magoro or Magoro? I'm sorry, please come in. Please unmute. Please unmute. We cannot hear you. Go to your mic, the picture of a mic, and press on it. And then that line will be removed and we'll be able to hear you. Okay, we are struggling here. Perhaps you can type it in the chat box and then the colleagues will respond to it, to you, even if it's not. Okay, we can hear you now. I see your mic is on now. Please go ahead.
Yes,
first,
I would like.
How do you pronounce your surname first? Educators.
Magoro.
Okay, Magoro, continue with.
I would like to ask about my registration because I recently edited my registration. I added 2 modules, which I was doing 8 modules. I added another 3 modules. I don't know if NSFAS is already funded those modules.
Yeah, you must remember that once you've done your registration and it's finalized and you go and add modules and it doesn't go automatically through, then there needs to be an intervention. So you need to speak to your closest office and say, please update my registration. Okay. So as I said now we need you to send us an email and say, I added modules, please update my registration. Normally, NSFAS if they've approved you for the year, there is a specific amount allocated to your name, but it will go through, you understand. It will because most of NSFAS students get for the year, their funding. So please be so kind to send us an email with your student number and say, update my registration.
All right. Which email
Okay.
should I be using?
Oh, you can use any email, but you'll notice there's a few emails there that you can use.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Lowe, I'm sorry, I was muted. I had Mr. Makoro say he's registered for 8, added 2. Just share some more information about the number of modules a student can register per semester, etc.
All right, thank you, ma'am. An academic year consists out of 2 semesters, all right? And then if you have year modules, you've got 1 registration. So if you register, there was also now a question in the chat and I replied to that. But the fact is, if you register, then if you've got semester modules, you can register in the beginning of the year for both semesters, all right? It all depends about your finances. Now, if you have a semester modules curriculum, that means you can do 10 modules a year. So in an academic year, a student can do 10 modules, all right? 5 in the first semester and 5 in the second semester. Guys, that's a lot of work, all right? So just know if you go for the full workload, you need a lot of press stick underneath your bum on a chair because there's about 3 assignments per module. So it's about 30 assignments in the year. Now, then if you've got year modules, you know, register and you write exams October, November. Semester, it's May, June, and October, November. Okay. Now, should you then have a bursary, regardless who your bursar is, if it's NSFAS, if it's your employer, it's better then to try and register for your full academic year. So you will then register for all your modules and get a quotation, get your proof of registration, give it through to your bursar, or NSFAS gets it, of course. Then your registration is completed for the year. But if you are responsible, if you are a self-paying student, right, don't put yourself under pressure by registering both semesters at once, because then we expect you to pay the second semester's money as well now, and you're not going to do anything on it. You're getting your study material only in July, once second semester open. Okay. But if you are privileged enough to have a bursary, then it's advisable to register all your modules at once. You know, in one take, so that your documentation to your bursar is one time. Don't take too many modules, you guys. Don't, you know, it's not open distance education. It's not less work, and the quality is not, you know, inferior. We expect much more of you as an independent student. So think wisely, take less modules, be successful, and ensure you will keep your bursary. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we said we will have our adjustment to Cordel workshop, or a comprehensive open distance e-learning workshop. So in that particular workshop on the 22nd of February, you will get more details than you have received today. We want to encourage you to come to that particular workshop and to invite or to alert the other students who are registered for the first time to come and attend that. At this point, I'd like us to say that we have covered everything that we needed to cover for today, and we thank you for participating, for attending, and for making use of this time. And we wish you all the best in your studies. Once more, on behalf of the Midlands student support practitioners who are situated in the 3 provinces, we are here to help you. We are concerned about your academic success and your overall wellness. So if you feel overwhelmed, we are here for you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of this orientation, and enjoy your afternoon.
You can also approach.
Okay, we can
Yes, sir.
also goodbye.
We can, oh yes, we can say goodbye. And please, that evaluation form. Oh, there's another hand, Seho. Let's give you time. Messi is available for you. Seho? Or was she? Ah, no, she left now. Okay. She's not here. Okay, I think we are fine, colleagues. The colleagues will, the students will contact us through other platforms. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.